Imagine discovering that money you earned years ago has been sitting in a government system, untouched, unclaimed, and never fully explained to you. For millions of Americans, that is not a hypothetical situation. It is a reality that traces back more than 4 decades. For 43 years, certain Social Security rules reduced or completely eliminated benefits for millions of retirees, public workers, spouses, and surviving family members. Many people never realized those reductions were happening. Others knew something was wrong but assumed nothing could be done about it. Today, that situation has changed, and the financial impact could be enormous for those who qualify. A major law signed in early 2025 permanently removed two of the most controversial Social Security provisions ever created. These rules affected teachers, firefighters, police officers, government workers, and countless widows and widowers across the country. For years, many of these individuals received smaller benefit checks than expected, while some lost access to benefits altogether. Now, with those provisions removed, retroactive payments and benefit increases are being processed, and in some cases, the amounts involved are substantial. The shocking part is not simply that the rules were eliminated. The shocking part is that many eligible people still have no idea they may qualify for additional money. Some individuals have already received corrections and lump sum payments, while others are still waiting for adjustments to be processed. In certain situations, people may need to take action before their records are fully reviewed. That is why understanding what happened, who was affected, and what steps may be necessary has become so important. To understand why this law matters, it is necessary to look at the two rules that created the problem in the first place. The first rule was known as the Windfall Elimination Provision, often called WEP. This provision applied to people who worked in jobs that had their own pension systems and did not require Social Security payroll taxes. Many public employees fell into this category. A teacher, firefighter, police officer, or other government worker could spend years in a pension-covered position and later work additional jobs that paid into Social Security. Under normal circumstances, those Social Security earnings would contribute toward retirement benefits. However, WEP changed the calculation formula. Instead of treating those earnings under the standard benefit formula, the provision reduced the value of those earnings. As a result, many retirees received significantly smaller monthly checks than expected. The reduction varied depending on work history and pension status, but for many people, the financial impact lasted throughout retirement. Imagine working for decades, contributing to different retirement systems, and then discovering that your Social Security benefit would be permanently reduced because of a complicated formula most people had never heard of. That experience became common among affected workers. Some retirees lost hundreds of dollars every month. Over the course of years, those reductions added up to thousands of dollars in lost income. The second rule had an even more dramatic effect on certain families. This provision was known as the Government Pension Offset, commonly called GPO. While WEP affected workers directly, GPO primarily targeted spouses and surviving spouses who also received government pensions from jobs that did not participate in Social Security. The way GPO worked was simple but often devastating. The rule reduced Social Security spousal or survivor benefits by 2/3 of a recipient's government pension amount. In many cases, that reduction completely eliminated the Social Security benefit. Consider a surviving spouse who expected to receive benefits based on a deceased husband's or wife's earnings record. If that survivor also received a government pension, the offset could wipe out the Social Security benefit entirely. Instead of receiving support intended for surviving family members, some people received nothing at all. For widows and widowers, the consequences were often severe. These benefits were originally designed to provide financial protection after the loss of a spouse. Yet under GPO, many survivors found themselves excluded from those protections. What made the situation even more frustrating was that many affected individuals did not understand why their benefits disappeared. The rules were complicated, rarely discussed publicly, and difficult to navigate without specialized knowledge. Over the years, frustration continued to grow. Advocacy groups, public employee organizations, retiree associations, and lawmakers repeatedly pushed for reform. Efforts to repeal these provisions appeared in Congress again and again. Supporters argued that workers who earned benefits should not face penalties because they spent part of their careers in public service positions. Critics of the provisions claimed the rules unfairly targeted specific groups of Americans while creating financial hardships for retirees and surviving spouses. For decades, however, change never arrived. Legislative proposals came and went. Hearings were held. Testimony was presented. Supporters continued pressing lawmakers for action. Yet the provisions remained in place year after year. Then, after more than 40 years of debate, everything changed. In January 2025, the Social Security Fairness Act became law. This legislation permanently eliminated both the Windfall Elimination Provision and the government pension offset. The change represented one of the most significant Social Security reforms affecting public workers and their families in recent history. For those impacted by WEP and GPO, the law offered more than future relief. It also included retroactive corrections. That meant eligible beneficiaries could receive compensation reflecting amounts that should have been paid under the new rules. As implementation began, adjustments started moving through the system. Benefit calculations were reviewed, account records were updated, retroactive payments were issued. For many individuals, these changes translated into larger monthly benefits and substantial lump sum payments. Some recipients reported receiving thousands of dollars in retroactive compensation. Others saw meaningful increases in their monthly benefit amounts. For retirees living on fixed incomes, even a modest increase could provide valuable financial relief. For those whose survivor benefits had previously been eliminated, the impact could be even more significant. Despite these improvements, a major challenge remains. Processing millions of adjustments is not a simple task. Social Security records must be reviewed individually, calculations must be verified, and updates must move through administrative systems that already handle enormous workloads. As a result, some beneficiaries have received corrections while others continue waiting. This situation has created confusion among retirees who are unsure whether their records have been fully updated. Some people have received lump sum payments, but are uncertain whether their ongoing monthly benefits reflect the new law. Others have noticed no change at all and wonder whether their cases remain under review. That uncertainty is one reason why awareness remains so important. Many people assume that every correction happens automatically. In reality, certain cases may require additional review, documentation, or communication with the Social Security Administration. Understanding your status could make a significant difference in determining whether your benefits accurately reflect current law. The first step for anyone who believes they may have been affected is reviewing their Social Security information carefully. Checking benefit records allows individuals to see current payment amounts and identify whether adjustments appear consistent with the elimination of WEP and GPO. For some beneficiaries, this review may confirm that corrections have already been completed. For others, it may reveal questions that require further investigation. Another important consideration involves communication with the Social Security Administration. Speaking directly with representatives can provide clarity regarding the status of an account. Individuals may learn whether their case has been completed, remains pending, or requires additional action. Understanding where a claim stands in the process can prevent unnecessary confusion and help beneficiaries make informed decisions moving forward. The significance of these changes cannot be overstated. For years, Affected retirees watched benefits reduced by formulas they did not fully understand. Surviving spouses lost protections they believed would be available when needed most. Now, those rules are gone, and millions of people have an opportunity to receive benefits that more accurately reflect their earnings histories and eligibility. Yet the story does not end with the passage of a law. The real impact depends on implementation. It depends on records being reviewed correctly, payments being updated accurately, and beneficiaries understanding their rights under the new system. For some people, the process may already be complete. For others, important steps may still lie ahead. That is why remaining informed is critical. Changes to Social Security can affect retirement planning, survivor benefits, household budgets, and long-term financial security. The more individuals understand these developments, the better prepared they are to verify their benefits and ensure they receive everything for which they qualify. In the next section, we will look closely at the groups most likely to be affected by these changes, the specific actions individuals should consider taking, and why some widows and widowers may need to pay special attention to their benefit status under the new law. Now comes the part that matters most: understanding who may qualify for adjustments and knowing what actions can help ensure benefits are reviewed correctly. Several groups of Americans were disproportionately affected by the old rules. If you belong to one of these categories, paying attention to your benefit status could be extremely important. The first group includes public school teachers, who worked in states where certain public pension systems operated outside traditional Social Security coverage. Many teachers spent years contributing to retirement systems established specifically for educators, while also working additional jobs during summers, evenings, or different stages of their careers. Those extra jobs often required Social Security contributions, yet WEP reduced the retirement benefits associated with those earnings. The second group includes firefighters, police officers, and various state or local government employees. Public servants often dedicate decades to protecting communities, maintaining public services, and supporting local government operations. Many of these workers earned pensions through government employment while also accumulating Social Security credits through other positions. Under the old rules, their retirement calculations frequently resulted in reduced Social Security benefits. The third group includes certain federal employees, particularly those who spent part of their careers under older retirement systems that operated differently from modern federal retirement structures. Depending on employment history and pension arrangements, these workers could also have experienced reductions under the previous provisions. The fourth and perhaps most vulnerable group includes widows and widowers whose survivor benefits were reduced or completely eliminated because of the government pension offset. For many surviving spouses, the financial consequences lasted for years. Some expected to receive support based on a spouse's lifetime earnings record, only to discover that the offset erased most or all of the benefit. For members of these groups, reviewing benefit information has become more important than ever. While the law eliminated WEP and GPO, implementation involves millions of records. Administrative systems must process enormous volumes of data, and not every case moves through the system at the same speed. This means two people with similar work histories may experience different timelines. One retiree may already have received a retroactive payment and monthly increase. Another may still be waiting for adjustments to appear. That difference does not necessarily mean something is wrong, but it does mean individuals should remain informed about their own situations. One of the most effective ways to stay informed is by regularly reviewing benefit records. Changes in payment amounts, updated benefit statements, and notices regarding account adjustments can provide valuable clues about whether corrections have been applied. Even small differences in monthly payments may indicate that updates are taking place. It is also important to keep personal records organized. Employment histories, pension information, retirement documents, and previous benefit notices can all be useful if questions arise during the review process. Having access to accurate records makes it easier to verify information and communicate effectively with Social Security representatives if clarification becomes necessary. Another common mistake involves assuming that no news means everything is fine. Many retirees wait for letters, phone calls, or official notices before checking their accounts. While notifications are sometimes provided, relying exclusively on them can leave people unaware of developments affecting their benefits. Taking a proactive approach often provides greater clarity and peace of mind. For widows and widowers, additional attention may be warranted. Some survivor benefit situations involve unique circumstances because original claims may have been denied under rules that no longer exist. In certain cases, eligibility may need to be reevaluated under current law. Understanding whether a prior denial affects present eligibility is an important part of ensuring all available benefits are considered. Financially, the stakes can be significant. Even moderate monthly increases can add thousands of dollars over the course of retirement. Larger adjustments may have an even greater impact on household finances. For retirees managing healthcare expenses, housing costs, inflation, and everyday living expenses, additional income can help strengthen long-term financial stability. Beyond the dollar amounts, these changes also represent something broader. Many affected individuals spent years believing they would never see these provisions repealed. Generations of public workers entered retirement knowing their benefits would be reduced. Spouses and survivors adjusted their financial expectations around rules that seemed permanent. The elimination of WEP and GPO marks the end of a chapter that influenced retirement planning for decades. At the same time, it is important to maintain realistic expectations. Administrative processes take time. Complex benefit systems do not update overnight. While many corrections have already been completed, others continue moving through review channels. Patience may still be necessary for some beneficiaries as agencies work through remaining cases. What individuals can control is awareness, staying informed, monitoring account information, maintaining accurate records, and seeking clarification when needed, all help ensure that potential adjustments receive proper attention. These steps are often far more effective than simply waiting and hoping everything resolves automatically. The broader lesson extends beyond this specific law. Social Security policies change periodically. Retirement rules evolve. Benefit calculations can be affected by legislation, administrative updates, and regulatory adjustments. People who remain engaged with their retirement information are generally better positioned to understand changes that may affect their finances. For many retirees, Social Security represents a cornerstone of retirement income. Decisions affecting those benefits can influence monthly budgets, saving strategies, healthcare planning, and overall quality of life. That is why developments like the Social Security Fairness Act attract so much attention among retirees, financial professionals, and policy experts. As more records are reviewed and more corrections are processed, additional beneficiaries may discover that their payment amounts have changed. Some will receive increases they never expected. Others may find that questions remain regarding their individual situations. In either case, knowledge remains one of the most valuable tools available. If you believe you may have been affected by the former WEP or GPO provisions, take time to review your circumstances carefully. Understand your employment history. Review your benefit information. Stay informed about ongoing developments. Small efforts today could help prevent confusion and ensure you fully understand how the law applies to your specific situation. The elimination of these provisions closed a chapter that lasted more than 4 decades. Millions of Americans spent years navigating reduced benefits, complicated calculations, and limitations that many believed were unfair. Today, those rules are history. the focus now shifts toward ensuring eligible individuals receive accurate benefit calculations under the current system. For retirees, public servants, surviving spouses, and families across the country, the message is straightforward. Stay informed, verify your information, and make sure you understand how these changes may affect your future. Financial security often depends on details, and when it comes to retirement benefits, those details can make a meaningful difference. Thank you for watching and staying informed. If you found this information valuable, share it with friends and family members who may benefit from learning about these important Social Security changes. Staying informed today could help someone better understand their benefits tomorrow. USA Retirement Guide.